Welcome back, guys. We're going to take a look at some highlights from round 1 of day 2. BSG Luna starting off with a bang here, Aqua 5. Look at this play.
Showing once again why BSG Luna is a team to look at, and they are the kings in Picado. At least here in Korea, and really the team from China with Fire trying to get that right away from them. Hasn't come to much of a fruition, and of course Clocky having his moments as well, but we're also going to get round 2 and see if Fire returns to Picado. Is going to be an interesting question.
Yeah, BSG Luna definitely with a couple of fantastic highlights from game number 1. Weren't able to take the win, but they had a pretty nice run to get to where they got. I think they finished around 4th or 5th place this time around.
They did everything right, and just to not have enough members in the late game to go up against the full squads of Genji Gold, who eventually did get the chicken dinner. But talked about a team that's making all the way to the end. Is going to be the one that's rewarded here, but BSG Luna definitely have to fight towards the way to get there.
Yeah, I love this play. Wicked in the back, just helping his team out so much. This is a bit of a crazy fight. Trying to go through the car here was Rage. You'll see it here, what he tries to do. Does not work out.
That's a lot of quick fingers right there, trying to get that control 1, control 2, then F again, then trying to get there, but really wasn't what's needed there. But Kakao, who needs better strats when it comes to defensive positioning, trying to get there.
Yeah, nice couple of shots there from Hyman, but eventually does get taken out. Good plays here from Danoa as well.
Just entering, I feel like Hyman, this was his mistake there when he saw the smoke, and when no action was going on around 10 seconds. You have to take the shots through the smoke, hoping to get more kills. You have to just imagine that they are going for the res there.
Great shots there from Kukadas. And yeah, I mean, WGS made it very interesting towards the end as well. See, Genji Black gets taken out. They were just surrounded and the focus of way too many different teams, and within grenade range of Gold, their sister team. So eventually they do get taken out.
You have to understand that the biggest enemies of Genji Black was their sister team with Genji Gold, who did get the initial few kills there, but he is still going down as well.
Yeah, you can see the last remaining guy was just trying to survive, but did go down. New2K had a really nice run here all by himself. Look at this one, just a headshot straight to the helmet of Eska, full knockout there. This grenade, I was really surprised that killed him, but it was actually perfect.
It pounced on the top of that hill right there, and it pounced up and it blew up midair. And that in the radius of where that grenade hit was just good enough to get the kill. But right now, so again, Eska and the team with Genji Gold showing what they need to do to stay at the top here to see them in first place.
There you go, 610 points already just from the win and the 11 kills they got. More kills did go over to WGS. They were just stacking them. They weren't really the focus of our, of our cameras, of our observing throughout the game, but towards the end, we even saw what they were able to do.
They had 4 men on the top of the hill just shooting down, and everyone who was looking across each other, and they did not have vision of WGS Arena, getting free kills left and right. Most of that 13 kills did come through at that end game when they had 4 strong.
Yeah, so should be pretty happy about that finish. You know, you'll notice that Genji Black, even though they did finish pretty high, I think it was 7th place, they had 0 kills, and so they'll be down there at 9th place to start this off. Zot Gaming, not really one of the biggest teams we were mentioning coming into this one, but they finished in 4th place, especially with that nice run by New2K towards the end.
Looking at some other teams here, Kongdu Red Dot, disappointing once again, similar to their team. Their sister team with Kongdu Gillisud having a hard time in day 1. Now we're on to day 2 to see the other Kongdu team perform, and it really hasn't been the case today as round 1 does conclude them at 16.
Yeah, the 2 Chinese teams not really showing up to play tonight. Certainly Fire dropping with BSG Luna. Not the smartest decision, I would like to say, towards Picado. Maybe just leave that to them. And yeah, WNV also, they were alive for a bit, but they also were taken out pretty early.
You really could see, a lot of these teams making a comeback, but are we going to see the top teams right now standings? Are we going to see them continue on to have more success in the later rounds? We're going to have one more Miramar before we get to Erangel and see how the top teams do now.
Yeah. what are you expecting on FPP? I asked you this on Monday, but do you feel like there's one team that's specifically better at FPP?
I feel like BSG Luna is going to be up there right now in my contentions of trying to get that chicken dinner in the second round. They dropped Impicado, had the contentions against Fire, and they lost one member in that process trying to wipe them out, and they did, but it's about getting 4 kills and losing one for yourself, and they couldn't carry that on to the very end of things, trying to get a 4-man squad, trying to fight against the other squads.
Yeah, so certainly FPP, their aggressive strategy should work out for them, especially if they decide to drop Picado once again. Should be a nice game for them, certainly expecting a lot. Looks like the game is just about ready to be started, guys. No delays today. I know we had a rough Monday, but as it always goes, you know, the first day of the tournament usually has the most problems.
And really looking at Genji, Black and Gold is still doing well. You talk about very less kills coming usually expected for Genji Black, but we're still seeing if they can pull it off in round 2 here.
Yeah, so we're going to see, guys, we're going to jump onto Miramar once again for FPP. Here we do go. You see the standings there on the left and where these teams are probably going to be dropping. It does say on the map that Fire actually does like to drop Picado, so it wasn't like they were trying to challenge BSG Luna or anything like that. It's just they went up against a stronger team, at least in game number 1.
That was the prepared strategy for the Chinese team with Fire, who did go down in last place. But now you have to imagine, after losing out that landmark in round 1 and trying to find some new location might be the strategy for Fire in this round 2 here.
Yeah. Pretty rough plane all the way around the bottom side of the map, so it will be a bit harder to get to the northern places, El Pozo, El Azahar. But we'll see how these teams decide to get there by vehicle or otherwise.
Also see if Picado's going to be interested by Fire once again. It's going to be my big point of contention here and see. Already landed here and trying to see where they can go, but they're on the same flight path and the same parachuting route in parallel to BSG Luna.
I'm just wondering how many teams are going to drop Los Leones, because we're right over the top here. Generally, you can get a fantastic drop super fast, you know, jump straight out of the plane, go directly down, and begin looting very early. So we do see that only 2 teams decided to go there.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make there with Los Leones is that you just don't randomly decide to drop at Los Leones. It's a very popular area, and you know that some teams have already established themselves in that city. So just randomly deciding to drop in Los Leones without any prior information is not going to be a good strategy to start you off.
Yeah. See Danoa, Hongil-dong decides that, okay, we're going to give up Monte Nuevo and try to drive south here. We'll see how that works out for him, because he spots WNV just south. He does a 180 and begins driving back.
And looking at the WNV, another Chinese team, in addition to Fire. Oh,
look at the circle. What the hell?
I don't like seeing these. We usually had this in more recent tournaments when we're talking about the flight path going one way and circle going the complete other way. And it's not the first time we had this, and we've had a lot of chaos, especially during the mid-game when teams try to rotate through that.
Yeah. Well, Motorcycle picked up there for, I think it was WGS. Not 100% sure, but either way, definitely getting in a vehicle and just driving up there is going to be the fastest way to go. And generally with weird circles like this and a weird flight path, you can try to get to even more popular areas with great loot, because, you know, it's less likely that people will go there because less people will be heading north.
Most of these pro teams will still prioritize going to their main prioritized area and try to not give up on that, even despite the bat circle that came through. But looking at Genji Black here, trying to shoot down some free kills if they can.
Well, already picked up a suppressor, has Grammatic, so taking some shots. He missed every single one, but always got to take the chance, especially with the suppressor.
Looking at Sungjan here for Entastates, a team with high contentions coming into this day 2. Didn't really show up too much in round 1, as a mediocre finish did kind of suppress them out, but round 2 in FPP, where they look much stronger than a lot of the other teams. Trying to see how he did, but he's talking about Eska, about his hopes, trying to go to Germany here.
Yeah. This says Germany, Kazua. Gazua, as people like to say it. Like to butcher that word.
You know, if there's a conventional way of saying "let's go," "let's get it" is going to be another phrase. It's a similar type of thinking.
Yeah, you know, that's becoming popular nowadays. Looks like Impala is totally Eska's and Loki's. They've taken over the entirety of this area. It's not going to be too far from the circle either, so a pretty good start for Gen G Gold once again.
Impala's going to be always a good place to start off, as you do stay on the sides where you're not going to be in the midst of all the attention, but you could get a relatively easier rotation into the first circle.
It looks like Simpson has gone a little bit south of Impala, looting a bunch of these big warehouses.
Yeah, Impala's not the most suitable play for all 4 members, and trying to get that additional compounds a little bit towards the south does help them in the cause, trying to get ready for the team fights.
Loki just farming up. You'll notice the standings up on the top side. Interested to see if WGS and Zod Gaming, a couple of guys we weren't mentioning too much, if they can recreate their performance from the first game, because second and fourth, that's fantastic, especially in this very competitive scene.
You remember how Zod Gaming played in that round 1, playing outside the circle for most of the game there, and we talked about them starting off in Valley del Mar, but staying aside, trying to loot at the rest of the city, even with the time against them, and still look forward to trying to make that late rotation. Was able to do it with most of the members surviving, and like I said, it does get a second in the air with New 2K really pulling out the clutch for his team.
Hongodong just all by himself. Looks like he has gone a little bit north of Monte Nuevo. You see BSG Luna, now they are driving away from having looted Picado. Let's take a look at the replay. Looks like a member did go down here. Kongdu Red Dot Merrill was taken out, in fact.
The UMP here, of course the UMP, this is before the patch came around, where the UMP is a lot stronger. We talked about it just before the cast.
Taking some shots at Gen G Black. Looks like only Esther ate just a bit of damage from a full AK clip. Not the most accurate shooting I've ever seen.
We usually like to see Esther's position as the sitting duck right behind the buggy. Really easy target for a lot of the running members, and trying to get some shots on the Esther. Was lucky there, trying to not get knocked there.
Yeah, coming in up the mountain now. They are going to be running into BSG, or not BSG, actually Kongdu Red Dot is pretty close to them up that mountain.
What he does here, BSG Luna done farming Picado and trying to get to the center of the circle early here, as we do see not coming through for Zod Gaming.
Yeah, curious about how that happened, because it doesn't look like they're being shot anymore. Maybe he just got knocked by the vehicle. Certainly possible.
So in the past, then teams have to recover from that. The punishment that you do face is that, of course, the next res will become harder to take, as the bleed out will be a lot faster, as mentioned earlier. But BSG Luna, after getting a really good performance in round 1, see if they can continue in round 2.
Oh, that was really close. Trying to take some shots there, but curious. Not able to land a single one. NC001 is full health here.
The MV surviving a lot longer this time when compared to the last round. They were one of the first teams to get out of this previous round that we had, trying to see if they can do a better job this time.
Whoa. Nice driving here from Yunroot. Yeah, this has been not too much action, actually. I think with the circle and everybody just driving up there, nobody has really been running into each other just yet.
See that the circle hasn't been too much trouble for a lot of these teams, as we don't see too many fights open up as they make the really tough rotation for a lot of these teams. But the late entrants are going to have a harder time now with all these teams already established in the current position. See what they do. Entrance Force also trying to be that team as well.
Yak struggling to drive here. I feel his pain. It can be pretty difficult sometimes to navigate a bunch of the debris that's around these places.
It's Ace now making their way into the circle here. Just right in the southwest part of the current circle that has opened up, and Christus and the rest of his team just trying to group together because they're a little bit separated apart. As you see, there's only the two members that to say are going to be together while the other two are a little bit away from each other.
Lots of teams grouped up near water treatment. That's around the middle of the map, so certainly teams, they're not going to take it as literally as Cloud9 did, where they go straight to the center of the circle, but they are going to try to group up towards the center and take some compounds if they can.
Let's see what they do, and this FPP mode of round 2 has been vastly different from round 1, as we didn't see as many action just coming through from the early game, and we're still seeing rather peaceful movements from most of these rotations coming from all these teams, and trying to still see this late entrance to the party, but imagine that rotation would have been a lot tougher for a lot of these teams trying to all move at the same time, but we're still seeing a lot of pacifists coming from the movements of these teams.
Oh, he's getting really low there, shooting a bunch of the Uzi. Looks like he did get Sungjang. And, oh boy, Memory able to take out another member from the opposite side. He's going to pan him in the face. Get down, says Memory. His level 3 helmet just showing OG and Entis Ace who is boss.
Definitely saw the frustration from them exiting so early in Picado in round 1. Taking out that frustration towards a different team with Entis Ace. Does not feel good for them. And Fire, they need performances like that. They need to be in good position to knock off teammates on the drive. And we saw them getting 2 knocks from OG and Entis Ace, who are still struggling after round 1. Did not really go that way either.
Sneaking up here on Style, but Style can hear him. Trying to take some shots, knocks Sexy Pig, but will get knocked himself. The rest of Kongduret a little bit too far away. They are taking some shots, though. Gotta land some of the smokes. They're very far away, as you guys can see.
Oh, Sexy Pig does go down to Clocky.
Kar98 there.
Man. So you definitely see Clocky, who was the one to get that, had a really high enough a position that he does peek out ahead from Sexy Pig, who was knocked, and eventually does go over the kill, so 1-man loss for Genji Black.
Yeah, pretty good spot for them, at least on the map. Kongduret can't really say the same about their current situation. They only have 2 members left still alive.
Let's see what they do here. Genji Black, after losing 1 member with Sexy Pig going down, and they make the rotation like they usually like to do, and conventionally you would see them a little more aggressive, but today's games have seen them a lot more passive than what we certainly have not seen them used to.
Cruz del Valle is going to be the main circle here. There is a crate over there. I'm not sure if that was actually picked up by BLS. Blossom, okay. I was like, who's that team? We didn't really see them in game 1.
I mean, they were not really seen in any of the games in previous tournaments either, because they haven't made too much of an impact as to trying to make good standings for what their team represents. But once again, another disappointing team that hasn't really shown up yet. And WMB, see what they can do.
Getting a couple of shots there onto Clader. He's got a 4-time scope on a suppressed M16.
It's going to be the most typical weapon from that range to get that fast bullet travel. So get those easy shots there. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the knock right away to the member of Genji Gold.
Taking some shots here in Axo's Indigo. It's PSG Luna, but getting shot themselves. They're going to have a little fight over Cruz del Valle here. See who comes out on top.
Aquafire takes the shots here and trying to defend out their current position. They're the ones that really don't have to move, and Actus Indigo has to find a better location to get the kills if they want against PSG Luna, but there's another team that's going to be joining the fray here.
Ooh. You mentioned pot shots. Well, this is one way to do it, an 8-time scope on your M4 from very far away.
Of course, you can't do that anymore with the live path that just come on. Maximum you can attach to an M4 is a 6-time scope, but still one. In this patch, you can still shoot with the 8-time scope with the M4. Very reliable trade I can do, but didn't get the knock right away against PSG Luna.
Yak actually taking a little bit of damage here. I like this map. You can really see where the teams are setting up inside the circle. Rocket in on just a bit of a small compound there to the east of water treatment. And just Force in a similar position.
See what they do. Important for Indigo and the rest of Intus Force. Haven't done so well in round one, but they could pick it right back up in the second round here.
You can see just how well you can see everything with the 8x scope on top of the hill in Miramar. Taking a look at Acto's Indigo, it looks like there's one guy kind of scouting over towards the west side. You'll notice he hasn't grouped up with the rest of his team in Cruz.
Matt Cow's gonna be the one on the scouting duties there. His team, and looking at Maxo VIP though against Media Bridge MCN.
Wow, he actually hit him. That was really, really far away. I'll be able to get the knock there.
See attack die going down for Media Bridge MCN, and it's not trouble for this team, and really making any contentions here, and once again looking like in trouble against Maxo VIP.
Yeah, you can see their position. They were pretty outside their compounds here. They were trying to scout a little bit up the hill, and they get punished for it there.
So VIP still looking through with that M16 Mini. They do have all the right tools to get the shots from there, but still looking towards Media Bridge MCN. You see Aqua on the mini map on the left. Very, very close to the members of Maxo VIP. See if he can get that vision up to the rest of his teammates. The three members onto behind them, and still looking at Minoy. Wonder if he can spot that direction on the left.
Yeah, Zod Gaming still doing their thing, kind of hanging back for a bit, all the way at the north of the circle. That's going to be an interesting one. It's actually going to include Cruz del Valle and Torre Ahumada.
Wasn't bad. That's an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 right there. Torre Ahumada right there, trying to just get there. Zod Gaming in a good position to rotate that way. No one's going to be in that city. As for the time being, they're just trying to play the edges there, just in case someone had already established themselves over there. But I'll be happy to find out that Zod Gaming are going to be complete owners of this barrel side here. Still see Maxo VIP joining in.
You'll notice Foe just going ahead, trying to draw some shots and scout out for his team, but should be pretty obvious that Zod Gaming, just with 4 different vehicles, have gone into Torre.
Now we know all these teams are now trying to make the rotation into Torre Ahumada. It's a good location to be in this next circle. Of course, Cruz del Valle, you mentioned earlier, Valdez, is not completely in, so it's not going to be the best investment right on that extreme edge of that circle. So now we're reaching into more closer to Torre Ahumada more than anything for a lot of these investments for the teams.
Here comes Entis Force, also trying to make their way in. There's so many teams all going. Here we go. Glader going to go down. Actually, Simpson eating a bunch of damage as well. Blossom, CCJ just lighting them up, taking out 2 members already.
Eska's too far away, though. I don't think he's going to be able to join in to try to fight the rest of the members of Blossom. You see Loki just trying to join in there, but he's going to be joining Eska instead, and just going to drop the 2 members of Genji Go who just went down.
It's interesting with such a great compound as you see here towards the middle of the circle that the others were trying to invade, if you will, onto the Blossom turf.
Just goes to show you that why did they have to split 2-2 there in a very dangerous rotation. Could have been, you know, all the teams were going to be moving as soon as they saw the circle open up, and 2-2 split right there was punished right there from Blossom and Genji Gold. From 4, they go right down to 2.
Okay, looks like Torre Ahumada has been pretty much populated now. You'll notice that Media Bridge Red, though, is trying to come from the top side, the top right side. They're outside the circle for now, but they're trying to make it in.
Trying to make that safest rotation they can, just right outside the circle. The circle is closing in, but it's not going to be too much trouble for Media Bridge Red to get in there. But BSG Luna, now you see them with a 4-man squad. This could be vital in the way they can push forward to victory here.
It's only Clocky left available. He's 1v4 right now. Yeah, he hears them. Let's see if he can pull off the miracle. Nope. The answer is absolutely not, as he gets shot down by Draft.
Definitely would not have taken those shots if he wasn't noticed by Aqua 5 on the top there, but Clocky just trying to be stealth as much as possible along that ridge, but couldn't get it done there.
Ooh, that safe rotation you were talking about actually catches Mirdayo off guard and safe rotation, but they got to go all the way back down now, as do many teams that thought perhaps it would end in Torre. It actually is going to go back to Cruz del Valle.
Did we say that Torre Almada was going to be a safe investment?
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't the case, as the circle gods are playing against him now. Cruz del Valle is the big money circle to go into, and Actus Indigo currently in the circle, going to be feeling very good. All these Centurions rushing in, Max Domad is joining in as well. And so you got to be all these teams going to make that really tough rotation now from the one end to the next, and see how many kills are going to come through from this one.
At this force, they have spotted Rocket here. Have a little fight over there, but also taking a look at DDSG. See what he can do. Has spotted a bunch of members of Max Still Mad.
Just Centurion have been running with a two-man squad for most of the game in round one and could not finish the job, but they do have three members and looking a little bit stronger in this mid-game here.
They have taken control of that house. Pretty good spot. There's actually a crate right on top of Rocket as we speak. Looks like they're trying to go for it, but now the vehicle's going to go down here. Esther is knocked. Wicked just making quick work of a bunch of those members. Yunroot is thankfully going to survive as the last remaining member of Gen G Black.
They just might go down in second to last place at 19th. Only have one team eliminated so far, and Gen G Black kind of referring back to their early statuses. When they start off the tournament, they always struggle and come back in the end, but even strongly again here in this first day of PWM.
Yeah, not the best start here for Gen G Black, that's for sure. Pretty weak couple of games, and now they go out in 19th place for game number 2. Panda has spotted Sanjuk, but actually misses a bunch of his shots. He had the perfect angle there. Sanjuk had no idea he was behind him.
That was a little bit of an early trigger for Panda. He could have waited that a little bit longer to make sure he does not have to shoot through the fences on that one. And Fire mostly about trying to just get rid of the frustration they had in round one, where they couldn't get anywhere, but round two looking a little bit better for them.
Blossom in a really weak spot, though, in the end. Sanjuk doesn't look like he has time to heal, and he is going to go down. Blossom, the 18th team to go out in game number 2.
Now, Blossom goes down, but Fire is in their tracks as well. Wonders all game is going to be able to notice them.
Oh, this should be a really nice grenade. Who's it going to get? Actually, nobody. As Zod Gaming, New2K picks up 2 kills onto Fire.
New2K, very well done there, as we saw from him in last game in round 1, pulling up the strats to survive for his team to get very close to third here, but see if they can do it again here. Full-man squad they can work with.
New2K actually, as you were praising him, the caster curse comes in and he actually does die, so that is unfortunate. Look at this circle. There is not a single, or maybe just one compound within that circle, so we're going to be playing a bunch of hills in this map. We'll see how these teams do respond to that.
Kind of paying respects to the intention for the creation of Miramar, that you have to play along the hills to get the victory, and this is going to be the circle that defines it all, Valdez, and see how these teams, still a lot of them, 15 teams to work with, and see what they can do with this very awkward circle they have to rotate into.
He's going to take a little bit of damage there. Loki's got the perfect angle on these two. Oh, you can see him underneath the car. Eska, meanwhile, goes down to Isco, losing in that trade.
I don't know if that was the best shots taken by Loki there, because they are outside the circle. They still have to get a move on, and they only have 2 members already, and trying to fight against a relatively healthy BSG Luna with a full squad, as you can see on the screen, and wasn't a good trade coming in from Genji Gold there.
Looks like another member of Zod goes down, and what a grenade there. Picks up 2. With just that one grenade. Yak showing up big tonight.
Intus Force needs performances like this from individual members, and trying to get that done, and we still see the teams dropping one by one. Yak and Indigo are trying to get more kills here.
Yeah, he's going to pick up his 3rd now. He's got some cover with the... I say that, and actually he does not. Looks like someone had a different angle on him.
Shooting behind him was Rocket Im, as we were mentioning earlier, and Intus Force losing one more man here, as we see BSG Luna trying to finish up at Genji Gold here.
Oh boy, he just walks up behind them, takes out both of them, and it looks like Genji Gold gonna go out in 11th place. BSG Luna being a little bit more consistent.
There's here, see what they can do in Meter Bridge Red. Trying to survive against Cacao here, but it's a really interesting one and very important for Meter Bridge to get out of this safely because they still have to make the rotation.
Yeah, this is a pretty rough spot for Media Bridge Red. I mean, they are in the circle, but no cover, as I was mentioning before. They just have to use their vehicles. I say that, and Cacao is actually in a worse position, just using smoke grenades to stay alive.
Looking at this though, Actus Indigo, 4 members they can work with. They're in the circle. They just have Entus Ace right behind him. Not a full squad they have to work with, but still defense strategies needed for that team. There we go, we see Entus Ace joining in.
Coming in from behind, they should see them, and Temeria is spotted here by Curate. Some people, I saw him up there in the corner. Doesn't look like he was spotted. Circle is pretty decent, right near the middle. So you can get into the circle first and get a nice spot.
Yeah, we're still seeing right now Maxo Mad and Cacao trying to go at each other. Not connecting on the shots there.
Yeah, just trying to blow up the vehicle perhaps and spray at Yacha Go, see what can land. For now, hasn't done much damage. Look at some people, he's just proning on the very edge outside of the compound, just trying to survive at this point.
See what they do here, Cal. Awkward position, obviously, you can see there. Yachigo, the only remaining member, trying to fend out against Max Tomau, but they're all rushing into that same location here.
Cow looks like he will go down. Actos will be eliminated with his death, and yeah, so far, or no, actually they do have 3 members left over down in that southern compound. They haven't moved just yet. The blue is coming in as we speak. You can see just how hard it is to get into the circle. You just got to run out in the open fields, the desert here. Actos Juanita is going to net himself a kill.
PSG Luna having a hard time to make that rotation in, and 3 members now trying to get in, but Max So Mad still have to do their defensive strats as well.
Great here, taking some shots at the 2 remaining Zod Gaming players, but Padak is going to go down, and so will Moto K. Taken out there by Hexa. So Rocket having a much better game this time around. Which gets another knock here. Doesn't look like he will be able to fully kill him off.
You can see most of the teams now making the rotation into the circle. They're going to be in the safe with BSG Luna on the left and Rocket Inv on the top. They do have a full squad they can work with. Max Nomad, Actus Indigo, Cacao. They're all in there as well. And trying to get the res on as well. Juanita does get the res on the JM.
What an interesting circle here. There's really not much cover, even in the form of rocks and hills and stuff like that. One of the flattest places in all of Miramar. That's where we're going to end here. Where is it going to be? Looks like that is fantastic for PSG Luna. They're right on the edge. They have so much cover over here. Pretty good for Actos as well, because they're in the middle. They don't have much cover, but they've got at least the middle of the circle working for them.
This means they have to defend out Valdez and to have to do it against PSG Luna on the left end. Rocket Imp on the right, but let's see if that gets it done.
There it is. That's 1 kill already. Only 5 teams left remaining as Hexa also gets knocked here. It's really the fight between those 2 teams. Yachigo left all alone with 4 kills, trying to fight up against Max Till M, or Mad rather.
Too many members though. Yachigo has to realize that he's still all alone as he was for the past 10 minutes in. Trying to just get into the rotation, but you know that will be very tough when you have Max Nomad looking straight at you now.
Yep. Trying to send a grenade out here is Aqua Fight, but he's being shot down by Rocket. But he actually gets 2 members with a grenade. It was perfect in the end. Wicked also getting a nice straight here against Hexa. PSG Luna having another great game.
We're looking at this now. Rocket Imp trying to move their rotations in. They're the one that really isn't contested much. Now a little bit by Maximum, but otherwise a 4-man squad they can work with, seemingly in a good position, could get them a good chance now to win round 2.
Jin able to get a knock there onto Crank. Let's see, Axelmad in a pretty decent spot, but actually Sonic does get taken out a little bit too far forward with no real cover where he was at. As we mentioned before, really fantastic position for BSG Luna, but actually does get sniped here by Ungjin.
Really is talking about the momentary things that we have to talk about with Max Tomad, trying to just rotate into, of course, Rocket in there, see if he can get them done.
Look at this circle. Fantastic for Max Tomad. Trying to get a grenade over the rocks, but actually just shorts it by a little bit.
And BSG Luna losing 1 member as well. Max Tomad getting numbers on there, but it's going to be mostly about them.
Oh boy.
Max Tomad on the right here. You see them still trying to get the kills here.
Yes. One-on-one now, it's Rocket versus Max Still Mad. It looks like a nice shot there by Ungjin, stays alive after knocking Hexa. Charging in here is Vino.
Hey, but Vino, who's gonna get the kill there?
Looks like it did go over to Vino, but he has to finish him. He's pretty low. He's got a big rock right in front of him for some fantastic cover to do the job.
Now trying to use that vehicle as a distraction there, Proud. You see Vino and Proud gonna be the 2 members against the 1 member of Ungjin. Can get that 1v2 of otherwise we're going to see Rocket Imp win the 2nd round here.
Ungjin just trying to stay alive for as long as possible. He wants to fight one-on-one and then get another 1v1 if possible. Proud, it doesn't look like he has any meds right now. Or maybe he was just waiting a little bit because he is going to bandage up now.
This here, 2v1 still very interesting to see how Ungjin's gonna play this, because you see the stretch out from Vino and Proud. They're splitting wide into multiple angles so that Ungjin cannot have his one eye on both players at the same time. He has to look both ways. That makes Ungjin's job a lot tougher. Yeah. You see them with the red side scope trying to just scout out both directions here.
I do like what he's doing where he knows where 1 member is and he has cover against the other one on the side of this hill. Vino, no real high points, no vantage points to get a good shot onto Ungjin, so they're taking it very, very slow. Okay, we got the circle, it closed, and he actually gets the knock there onto Vino, catching him off guard, but he gets taken out from behind. He didn't know where the 2nd member was, and Proud from Rocket is going to get the chicken dinner for his team.
Eventually that 2v1 was good enough for Rocket Imp to get that chicken dinner. It was more about playing the positions correctly. If they had clustered up with the 2 players, that would have been bad for Rocket Imp. Gave them a low percentage chance to win that game, because Ungjin had good shots at going up against these 2 players, but splitting apart was the right decision to make, and them playing the angles and making it more difficult to get that chicken dinner was Imp playing that correctly.
Max Still Mad, living up to their name, looking a little bit angry after that one. Especially this this member right here in front of us that we're looking at. But, I mean, it was a pretty good result after all. They almost got it there towards the end, 1v2, and getting 2nd place in that position. Quite good for their team. So, guys, we are going to go straight to some highlights. Let's take a look at how this game went down.
Ungjin right there with the that kills, and Fire trying to get rid of the frustration they had in round 1, picking it out against Entersafe, who do lose 2 members very early once again, having the best of rounds here, even with the pan to finish him off.
I love the sound the pan makes. It's always so funny. Style here was the last remaining member, just trying to make something of it. CCJ had a pretty good firefight in the end up against Gold. Actually took a bunch of their members out here.
I feel like this was a mistake coming from Genji Go, where they did not really necessarily have to split 2v2. Trying to just get to the next location was there a priority there, but they do lose 2 members in the process, and it probably cost them getting another chicken dinner in round 2.
Yeah. New 2K having another really great game, but unfortunately being sniped by Loki. Had 8 times on the Scar, really working out for him.
Also see Yak there getting that very nice grenade. You're going to see very, very soon 2 grenades in a row, and the second one connects right back to get a 2nd kill.
That was a really quick just look there, and Aqua 5 coming in and ruining the dreams of all the Gen G players.
Genji Go had to be reluctant to fight like that, and that did go inside the building, yeah.
Did you see the bounce? It bounced off the little hill there. It's almost as if he did that just directly on purpose.
And these players know the mechanics of how to throw a frag grenade, and you saw an example right there.
SKS still really strong on this patch.
BSG Luna, team that really wanted to do better in round 2, of course losing one member in the process in round 1. Only got them about top 5 finish, but really did not get them a chicken dinner that they wanted. Tried again in round 2, but had some other difficulties to work around. You see them working against Rocket Im to get that done.
Yeah. When we were thinking that BSG Luna still had a chance, but eventually they get taken out. And Unjin, really nice play here to take out Vino, but then he immediately turns his head to the wrong direction. Proud, having spotted him from his teammate, does take him out for the victory. So we are going to have an interview, guys. I'm curious to see who this will be with. And of course, Joel is going to do the translating.
The PUBG Warfare Masters with PWM with the interview halfway point after 2 rounds here, and still looking at a lot of teams still in winning contentions and seeing what they can do. To have a lot of exciting action, and that does lead to so many teams being looked out for potential winners of day 2. Gonna look at Aqua 5 from BSG Luna for the interview here. It's your first time here at PWM. Anything you'd like to say to them? My name is Aqua 5 from BSG Luna. I feel like most recently the aggression and the combat abilities has been getting a lot of attention from the fans now. And you talk about so many good things coming through this team. Well, for today's games, we try to just mention that, you know, even during the warm-ups, we were trying to expect that they would come in to Pecado, and Fire did indeed come in at round 1, and we tried to be aggressive, and we were successful in that regime, getting that done. And even in the future games, I feel like there will be more times where we can show more aggression from the beginning, but it could have been a little bit better, especially in the early game. You know, we do talk about Fire, and I'm sure they must have had a hard time. Of course, you knocking them down from the very early in the get-go, but we're still looking at PWM overall, and right now you are now the team to look out for in these groups C and D. Do you feel like, is there a lot of other teams? Of course, there's a lot of good teams in this roster as well. Yeah, definitely wasn't a good feeling coming in, as you knew, there are a lot of strongs here, but eventually you're going to have to meet all of these teams, and from thinking from that perspective, I knew that was going to be a positive way to think that. You know, talk about getting the spankings early is probably your prediction here. Yeah, of course, facing the harder teams early does help us out in the long run. He really showed wonderful skills, really rivaling around against these top teams here. And just seems like it's the hottest team right now, with BSG Luna showing grits of how to play PUBG really aggressively here. How do you feel about that comment coming through? You know, we really don't know how to look behind us. We don't know how to reverse, but we just know how to go forward and try to just wipe our way through to victory. And you know, if we do see a team behind us, we're going to look to the team in front of us and try to get the kills there. And that is our mindset, is the way that we approach the games here. And you feel like even in a situation you just fight against a number that is against you, fight 1v2, 1v3 and so forth. You know, if we do have more numbers, we can try to make sure to get the fights that we need. But if we are outnumbered but we're in a good position, I feel like it's still a good chance for us to get the win there, so we still can be aggressive there. It feels like the bravery coming from BSG Luna was the way he approached those actions there. And the aggression and, of course, the macro game as well. Is there something that you prioritize a little bit more? You know, if we do have the numbers that are capable, we'll try to go aggression and the attack is all the way, and instead of the macro held here. And Miramar wants the games for the BSG Luna to have rounds 3 and 4 with Erangel. Showed how you can do it in Miramar. Can you show it again in Erangel? Of course, with all the teams having a lot more expertise in that map. Which, how do you feel about those 2 rounds coming up? You know, we can be more aggressive even in Erangel compared to Miramar, so we're trying to just throw away the pressure and trying to go in with confidence. You know, more aggressive than what you already showed in Miramar can be exciting to watch. And that was the interview with Aqua 5 coming from BSG Luna. Wonderful team. They're showing good grit in round 1 and 2. See what they can do in rounds 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's just it's a team that I'm really excited to watch because they're so aggressive. Their style is so cool and fun to watch. But either way, guys, we'll see what they can do going into round 3 after a quick commercial break.